Hey guys, this video is going to be the first in a series of Sunday videos in which I take a bunch of questions I've been asked over the weeks and answer them right here. If you want your question answered, just leave it in the comments or ask me via an inbox and it might just show up in the next Sunday's video. Alright, I'm going to get straight to it. The first question is from I Am Kamira, and he asked, when was the first time that you realized that this is your job, or to be more accurate, when did your parents acknowledge this? Honestly, there was a very specific time when I started looking at YouTube as a source of income. I'm not going to call it a job because it's really more of a passion than that, and I'm just lucky enough to be able to make some kind of money off it. But it was September last year. Up until then, I had been living from the government benefits or handouts. I got around £200 a month, which is around $320 a month. Here in the UK, if you don't have a job, that's all you get. And every week you need to visit the job centre in your town with a little list of the jobs that you'd applied for in that week. It's just like being at school or some kind of crap. If they think that you've not applied for enough jobs, you basically get no money for that entire month. And I'm not even kidding, the worst part is the people who work behind the desks in the job centres look at you like you're scum, you know, and after a while you start to actually feel like scum. Another lame thing is that in my town the unemployment is very high. I came out of college at around the time Cataclysm went live, and for over a year after that I was on the government benefit system. Now I won't lie guys, after that long on the benefit system, a year and a half, after being looked down on by the people behind the job centre desks for so long, you start to feel so depressed now. And I used to think things like, you know, I've got this beautiful girlfriend, Sophie, and I can't even find a job to support her, you know, what kind of man does that make me, you know? So that was really a horrible time for me. Then I started talking to Cottage over Skype, and he put forward the idea of getting a YouTube partnership, and I just went from there. Literally the same day that I filled out my CARES contract to partner my YouTube channel, I just marched my ass straight down to the job centre and was like, boom, I just slammed the sign-off form, you know, straight on the front desk, and I just haven't looked back from there. It was actually such an amazing feeling after being on it for so long. I felt like I could fly when I walked out of the job centre that day. So I pretty much realised that YouTube was my line of work on that same day, early September 2012. And the cool thing is that my parents acknowledged it too. Like almost right away they were really happy that I'd found a way to make some money, considering the town that we live in. I mean, my dad, I think, struggled a little bit at first to see, you know, what I was actually doing as work, but then when he realised that I'm awake till like 5 AM every night and that I'm always editing or scouting YouTube for montage music or recording voiceovers, things like that, I think he gets it that there is some work involved. Now, the next question is from Adney Lileslet, or Adney Lileslet. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I probably am. But he asks, why did you choose the Warlock class, and why did you choose Horde? I'll answer the Horde part first, as that was a choice I made immediately. I chose Horde because I just prefer to play as bad guys. Simple as, really. I like to create so-called evil characters, and then you get to imagine how they got to be like that, you know? What actually made them become what people would call evil. Were they betrayed in the past? Were they heartbroken, lonely, or lost, or afraid? There's just so much more depth, I feel, to a wicked character than a good one in my eyes. Like the Alliance to me, when I first started playing, just came across as an overly honourable bunch of squares who only ever do the right thing and never really have a moment of selfishness, and that's just not a character that I can really believe in. So, and why did I play Warlock? It's basically because of shadow magic and demons. The playstyle also fitted me a little better after testing all of the classes, but just the darker feel of the class I think had me gripped overall. Next, Cowman Freets asks if I have ever written a book, poem or anything of that nature, and that he would love to read it. And I'd love to share it if I could ever have it finished. I've been writing creative writing for around 5 years now, and just like editing videos, it's one of them, you know, creative outlets that I just really love to do. The story I'm kind of working on right now is about a demon, whose name is Asper. It's pretty much his life story, and I guess it goes back to me liking the perspective of the so-called bad guys. In the story, Asper will do a lot of evil things. Some of them are because he's afraid, some of them are because he's lonely, and some of them are just because of what he is, a demon. Of course, the interesting thing is writing about the angels in the story, because with demons you have to have angels really, they both exist in the same universe. Even though they represent a force, you know, for good, for mankind, they actually come across as the villains, because the story is written from Asper's perspective. Anyways, it's a story about redemption and finding one's place in the world, and it's nowhere near finished, so I'm afraid I'm going to be keeping it to myself until I can summon up the courage, you know, to let more people read it. So that's 3 questions answered as best I can. I only really had time for 3, as it took so long to answer the first one, I think. If you got a question for the next Sunday video, which is going to be out in a couple of weeks, please do leave it in a comment below so I can check it out. But until then, I'm going to do some work, work on a couple of guides, maybe a BG montage for you guys. So hope you enjoyed this video, stay awesome, and I'll talk to all you guys later.